Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be playing The Darkest Files. Finally, it's coming out soon. I'm playing it early. So yeah, let's start game. Okay, I don't need these. These are like old versions. I can't delete them. New save. Okay, so we have part 1, part 2 and epilogue. So, part 1, the Insurgent, we're going to play on investigator mode. Okay, the events in our game are based on true crimes committed during the Nazi era and were investigated in the young Federal Republic of Germany. With the exception of Fritz Bauer, the names of all those involved have been changed, and the similarities with existing persons of the same name are purely coincidental.
Frankfurt, West Germany, 1956. 11 years after the end of World War II, many crimes of the Nazi era still go unpunished. The perpetrators of these crimes are walking free. Many judges, prosecutors, and police officers have already served under the Nazis. Now they have no interest in prosecuting their former comrades for actions similar to their own.
This
For
is
the
already
victims of
different
these
than the demo.
crimes, this is unbearable. To end this, Attorney General Fritz Bauer establishes a special unit of young prosecutors with no ties to the old regime. I am Esther Katz. I am one of these prosecutors. We are investigating Nazi crimes and bringing perpetrators to justice. Not to avenge, not to heal, but to show that there are laws that apply to all. It doesn't make us popular. Most want to forget. Some want us to shut up. But they cannot stop us. Nothing belongs to the past. Everything is still present and can become the future again.
Okay. Ooh, this is different. Okay. A new job, 11 September 1956.
First day, you've got this, Guts.
Okay, so
No
let's start
point in waiting.
investigating.
I'm not here for an appointment.
Boom.
Good. I'm not the first one in. Looks more like somebody's home than a prosecutor's office. Archive. Not where I should be now.
Okay, so...
Hello? Anybody here? Not much of a welcome party. Really small for an intercom. Must be a new model. The door is locked. Fritz Bauer. I'd be hard-pressed to find a more disliked name in this city. I hope this job wasn't a mistake. The door is locked. So many plants. Someone here has quite the green thumb. Maybe everybody's in a meeting?
Nope, I can't open the door.
The door is locked.
Ooh.
They could all be on break, right? All of them.
Ooh, okay, newspaper time. So, yeah, these look all the same like from last time. Just the Germany army will be supplied with American equipment for the years 1957 to 1960. The preparations for this deal were completed by U.S. Secretary of State John Foster Dulles.
Not the cleanest of places. No, I'm good. Does it just go all day long?
Okay, so let's go to our office.
Now, where?
Hello?
Good morning.
Oh, hello. Good morning. Sorry I didn't hear you enter. You must be Miss Katz, right?
Must I?
Esther Katz, yes, that would be me. And you are?
Paula. Paula Fischer.
Hello.
I'm a legal assistant here for Mr. Bauer's team. Well, the legal assistant. We're a bit understaffed at the moment.
It's nice to meet you, Paula.
Oh, it's my pleasure, believe me. I've brought you this week's newspaper and a letter that arrived for you. Anyway, I should probably be going. I'll be at my desk if you need anything. You'll find me. Or through the intercom. We just had the whole system installed. It made my life so much easier.
Thank you. Is there anything else?
Mr. Bauer wants to talk with you once you've acclimatized. His words, not mine. He should be arriving soon for that matter, so should the rest of the team.
I see. Very well then. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you on our team, Miss Katz.
All right then. First encounter, check. Time for me to settle in.
I think this might be the new reconstruction board, and it looks cool. We don't have the case file yet. Notebook. And these are just some words we'll need to know. So,
a new job.
Oh, with the notebook, understood.
The last holiday we spent, Franz was such a show-off that summer. Always trying to impress the girls. I wish you were here, big brother.
Yeah, this was the family.
Look at that. Written evidence of all those sleepless nights. And the ton of coffee. But...
Oh, right, and...
I'm not letting you down. I swear.
Settling in. Achievement unlocked. So what's this letter? My dear daughter, my heartfelt congratulations on your promotion. Being a state attorney at the age of 30, that is no small feat. You achieved this on your own through diligence and brilliance of mind. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Though it is a great honor to work for the Attorney General directly, Dr. Bauer is not always easy to work with, I hear. But people are saying a lot of good things about him too, so please don't let me spook you. I wish you all the best for your new position. No father has ever been prouder of his father. With love, your father. P.S. Your mother asked if you're coming home at the weekend. I think she's still getting used to the fact that her daughter is working her job, not tending a family. And yeah, just the normal stuff we had last. Ooh, hello.
Hello?
Mr. Bauer is ready for you. He says at your own time. With him, that means as soon as possible.
Okay.
Thank you. I'd better get going then.
Good luck.
Thank you.
No signal. The line must be dead. Maybe I should talk to Paula about it.
I agree.
With so many smokers here, I doubt this office will ever be free of the cigarette smell. They are supposed to be good for you, though. That's what my doctor said.
So we have the photo came here. Where did I don't know. It's in her back pocket maybe. Okay. Hello.
Miss Katz, how can I help you?
Paula, where can I find Mr. Bauer's office?
It's the door on your left, at the end of the room.
Thank you.
That will be all for now. Thank you, Paula.
Always happy to help.
Knock knock.
Miss Katz, welcome to the front line.
Good
morning,
morning.
Dr. Bauer.
Just mister. We are working together. My name, as you already know, is Fritz Bauer, General Prosecutor.
Yes.
Much to the displeasure of the public, I insist on investigating the many crimes committed under the NSDAP. Most of them, of course, have long since gone cold. And nobody out there truly wishes for us, for you, to solve them. Or frankly, to even touch them. A rather thankless job, may I say. Are you up for it?
Yes.
I am, and I'm well aware of this.
You see, I'm not entirely sure of that. But no matter. Miss Katz, I believe I have the perfect case for you to start with.
I'm listening.
Hans Naumann, an older gentleman, Shot just before the end of the war.
And why does this fall under our jurisdiction?
The suspects. According to the victim's wife, her husband was taken by uniformed men for no reason. He never came back. His body was found in a forest nearby after the war. Shot in the head.
I assume this isn't the first time she brought this case up?
No, it's not. Miss Naumann reported her husband's death to the police. A case was opened. The public prosecutor's office investigated members of the NSDAP local group. They're suspects. However, no charges were pressed. Based on the investigation, Hans Naumann was lawfully executed.
Could that have been the case? Maybe the widow simply didn't know the reason for his arrest.
That is a possibility. The first thing that I'll need you to establish is why Hans Naumann was taken.
Okay.
Depending on the answer, we'll see if the case warrants a full investigation. I asked Mrs. Fisher to prepare a file. It should probably already be on your desk. I suggest you familiarize yourself with it and invite the widow to give a statement. Mrs. Fisher should be able to help you with that. It might also be wise to check the archives. You never know what is hidden in these old boxes. Maybe something about this official order mentioned in the discontinuation report. Ask Mr. Bournemouth for the keys. I believe he has a spare set. Good luck, Miss Cutts.
Right. Get the keys, check the files, and invite the first witness.
Okay.
And I need a refresher on the Nazi hierarchy. Understanding the chain of command will be crucial. Paula did say to ask her if I needed anything.
Miss Katz, how can I help you?
Oh, yeah,
I need you to invite a potential witness.
Of course. Who should I reach out to?
Mrs. Naumann?
Ludmilla Naumann, the victim's widow. I want to hear her version of what happened.
Of course. I'm on top of it. Anything else?
I
need some additional files.
Something specific?
I need more details regarding NS organizations. Chains of commands, ranks, and badges. Anything you can get your hands on.
Of course, I'll get right to it. Anything else?
Thank you, Paula. That will be all for now.
Here if you need anything.
Paper portrait, okay. So now we need to read the case file. Bookmarks, we don't have any bookmarks yet. And case file. Old case. Understood, okay. So yeah, we have these. I'm going to mark them. We've already seen most of them in the old version, I think, but we'll like fully look at them when we need to start doing our stuff. So yeah, we need to now look at the, let's talk to Christopher Wormuth.
Oh, hello. Oh, please forgive the mess. I'm afraid I didn't have the time to clean up. Miss Katz, right?
Esther Katz, nice to meet you.
Pleasure is all mine.
These drawings are really nice.
Christoph, preferably. I try to be on first name basis.
And how's that going?
It worked with Paula, not with Simon. Didn't dare to try it with Bauer.
In this case, I would prefer you treat me like your male colleagues.
We are a small team. I'd love to tell you that we are small and tight-knit, but, well, happy to have more people join the fight. Especially someone like you.
Mr. Bauer said you have the keys to the archive?
I do. We all. Oh, despair. I tend to keep 2 sets, as I'm somewhat prone to displacing them. Just let me find it. And there it is, the master key. Be aware of its gifts.
The master key?
It's from a story I used to read. You know, don't mind me. Good luck in the archives.
Okay. And so Simon is not
The
here
door is
yet.
locked.
So let's see what's in the archive.
Ooh, the smell. It brings me back to all the nights at the library.
Okay, so to find the archived case files you're looking for, you need to connect and name to an archive number. This looks familiar. So... Ooh, Naumann Ludmilla probably? I want to see who else is here. Naumann Ludmilla, 7GN 1956, 2824. Okay, what was it? I already forgot. 284 7JN. 28 28. What, this one? Einsatz Kommando Child. No, I don't think. No, just like this one here.
Found them. These seem relevant.
Okay, so we have an official order for no. This is an official report on like why he was, and like a picture putting him as like a traitor, portraying him as a traitor. So now what do we have on the case files? Yep. Okay, so tasks. We don't have
Paula, how often do I need to tell you that my plaque belongs on my door and not on the floor?
That voice. Oh no.
And how often do I need to remind you that I am not your handyman?
Just fix my door, Paula!
Ugh, no. No. There's no way it's Peter's. Just no. I need to check it. Please let it not be him.
Okay, let's check who's the final co-worker. Simon Peters, prosecutor. No.
This better be about my door, Paula. Tell me this is a joke.
Hello.
Hello.
Peters.
Falda, what are you doing here, Katz?
Funny. I was just about to ask you the same thing.
I work here, Katz. I'm Mr. Bauer's right-hand man. And I'm so sorry, but we don't really do marriage disputes for bored housewives here, you know?
As a matter of fact, I work here as well. And I must say, this job just got much less appealing.
Just my luck. So you're the new hire, Katz.
In the flesh.
You won't last a week.
Mm-hmm.
You did, so I'm sure I'll manage. Just you watch. I'll outlast you, you'll see.
Classy, as always. You know what? I don't have time for this. Get out of my office, Katz. Try not to embarrass yourself.
Okay.
There's nothing left for me to do. I should call it a day.
So let's see if we can like.
Miss Katz, how can...
Thank you, Pop.
Here if you...
Okay. So let's leave. Button Reha. Okay, The Widow, 17 September 1956. We've already almost lost it a week.
Last month's Motortrends and a Birgit from last year. Wouldn't be my first reading choice, but with how long you have to wait for a prosecutor.
Miss Katz, if you'd have a moment.
No.
Yes,
Okay.
Paula?
I found some documents you asked
Okay.
for. They're waiting in your inbox. Oh, and there was a call for you. Asked for you to call back. I wrote down the number, left it with the files.
Okay.
I have an inbox?
We all do, apart from Mr. Peters. He demands everything be handed to him personally, as if we weren't already understaffed. I set yours on your desk. It's where I'll be leaving any letters or files for
Okay.
you. And a daily agenda, if that's needed.
And who
Who
called?
called me?
I'm afraid he didn't give a name. An older man, I'd say. Sounded very proper, even if he did ignore my questions. Oh, he referred to you just by name, Esther.
Thank you, Paula.
Miss Kat?
Okay, so what do we have tasks? Just get to work.
Civil codes, Bereichsgesetz, Seneca, and some Frankel and Neumann. Quite a collection. Wait, is that a Sachenspiegel? I think Dad had a copy of this edition. Meow. Meow. Well, hello. And who would you be?
Marlene.
That's Marlene. My son turned out to be allergic, so Mr. Bauer agreed to have her stay here for now.
Looking forward to working with you, Marlene. Oh, hello, Marlene.
Medicate.
Oh, I'm glad you are so cooperative. Oh, hello,
That's
Meow.
meow. Okay, so let's see what's on the news. Ooh.
Damn it! There has to be some coffee left. Ah, cuts. Great. Just what I needed.
Okay, so these must be these like kitchen talks. Ooh. This looks different. No. Excuse me.
Really, Peters?
What? You're not seriously expecting me to pretend I'm happy to see you, are you? I don't know what trick you pulled on Bauer to get this job, but I know
Hey,
you.
don't
I'm not
say
falling
no.
for it.
Don't you think it might be a good idea to, I don't know, at least try to stay somewhat civil? If we're going to have to work here together?
If. I doubt you'll last long enough for me to try.
What are you doing?
Why, what does it look like? I'm trying to have some coffee. Trying being the key word. If I can find any. Seriously, there's only 4 of us here. Huh. Right. 5. How can we be all out already?
Right, I'll leave you to it.
Oh. Yes, we got rid of Peters. Okay. So, yeah. Again, looks somewhat similar.
Does anybody actually cook here? Oh, so many dishes in the sink. I'm surprised no one has complained yet. It is too early to make another pot. Right?
Okay, so let me go talk to Peters. Yay, woohoo.
Cuts.
Peters, I have some questions.
So,
How long have you been working here?
from the start, I reached out as soon as I learned Mr. Bauer was to be the general prosecutor. He needed the best, so I joined.
What can you tell me about the work here?
It's important, necessary, but it's exhausting. And very much unwanted by those outside of the team, if even that. And then there's the... No matter.
What did you want to say?
It doesn't matter. You'll find out yourself.
You sound disappointed.
Hardly. In myself, if anything. It's a tough job. It takes its toll. In more ways than I had expected.
Got it. Back to the work topic. One more. I have some questions about somebody.
About whom?
About Mr. Bauer.
Mr. Bauer is a good man, a righteous man, an idealist, very professional, and very good at what he does. Even if he can be a bit difficult to work with at times.
I have some questions.
About whom?
Thank you. That's all.
Oh, he's gone.
Aw.
Hello, Marlene.
No.
Okay, so let's see if Christoph is here.
Esther,
Yay!
right? Sorry, Miss Katz. To what do I owe the pleasure?
I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Disturbing me? Perish the thought.
Okay.
I'm just so sorry about the mess here. I got a bit lost in a lecture. Either way, forget it. What can I do for you?
What's
I
our
had some questions,
questions?
if you don't mind.
About work.
Can I ask you a few questions about the work here?
Ask away.
Yeah. How long
have you worked for Mr. Bauer?
Here? Almost since the beginning. Which sounds good, but really means just a few months. We are a new team.
What did
And
you do
before that, what did you do?
3 years in Hamburg, public prosecutor's office as well. Didn't really fit in there. And before that, well, that's a different story.
Ooh.
Have you worked with Mr. Bauer before?
Didn't get the chance, no. And even here, it's not exactly working with him either. Under would be a better term. Usually, at least.
What can you tell me about working here?
Long hours, little pay, cases which more often than not fail to even reach court. But it's an important mission and, ironically, rewarding. The cases we work on, they already have had to wait far too long.
I was a bit surprised we are not at the main office.
Right, Bauer's idea. To put it simply, he was and still is afraid of sabotage. Too many people there he wouldn't trust. Files went missing, evidence got misplaced. So he decided to rent this place and repurpose it. And here we are.
I have a different question.
About
I
someone.
have some questions about somebody.
Mr. Bauer.
Who would that be?
Oh, you?
You, to be quite frank.
Then the answers might be quite boring. There just isn't that much to say. The name's Christoph. Again, I'm a public prosecutor, as you might have guessed. Though I'm more of a pre-trial one. Interviews, research, documents, not court.
Okay.
I never did well with trials themselves.
You didn't study in Frankfurt, right?
Hamburg, mostly. Did a few years in Berlin first, but on the wrong side. Doesn't count here.
So you're from...
The East, yes. Don't hold it against me. Hardly my choice. And I've never been much of a comrade anyway. Too many books, not enough worker spirit.
I'm sorry for asking, but how did you end up here then?
I crossed before 52. It was easier then. No fences, no restricted zones. You just had to worry about the patrols.
I have a different question.
That's
I
all.
think that's all for now.
I have another question.
Don't be a stranger.
That's all. That's my question.
The door is locked.
Door is locked. Okay, so let's
Time to get started.
I wrote down the number that you should call back when you have time. Ms. Naumann will be arriving soon. Please update Mr. Bauer after the interrogation. Ooh, and we have the case files. We're going to be needing this for the next... for the interview. And amnesty for the communists. This looks different. Federal Minister of Foreign Affairs Gerhard Schroeder remains opposed to the Bundestag's calls for political amnesty following the delegalization of the KPD in August. The number of criminal cases against its former members continues to rise, threatening to overtax the criminal justice system, with over 2,000 new charges being brought against the suspects of politically motivated crimes. Each of them will soon require pre-trial detentions. Globe Case defense. So Globe Case defenders with Chancellor Adenauer do not hesitate to voice their support during similarities between the attacks on him and the persecution of influential figures of the Weimar period, presenting his role in the Nuremberger racial laws as a voice of reason and an attempt at preventing worse things from happening. They described the accusations as careless bad-mouthing, endangering the democratic life of our country. Okay, let us call
I
that
still
number.
can't believe Peters is working here.
So it's a
Peters.
little mail.
I wonder if anybody can tell me how this happened.
Okay.
Who do I want to call?
Ghostbusters.
Hello?
Father? I didn't expect you'd call me here.
Oh, Esther, my dear. So good to hear you. Did you settle in all right?
No.
I have great colleagues. Well, most of them. And I believe I can do a lot of good here.
I see. Esther, there's something I want to discuss. Do you remember our little talk? It must have been last month.
I don't recall.
Then you should pay better attention. It pays off in our line of work. It is about the job at Bergmann, Kranich and Partners. Family law. Very respectable.
Dad, I just started working for Mr. Bauer.
And the sooner that stops, the better. Esther, let me be very frank with you.
What's the being frank?
I'm
We have
proud
frank
of
cards
you.
and
I
frank
really
cards.
am. A prosecutor
Everyone
at
is
your
frank.
age, with a view on women on our line of work being what it is, I'd have to be a fool not to. But your mother and I, we are worried. Do you have any idea what they say about Bauer?
He's one of the best prosecutors in the country with a spotless record.
Just as I feared. You must broaden your horizons. Read some other magazines, perhaps. Listen to your father. Leave. Nothing good will come from this.
I make my own decisions now, Father.
Oh, my silly, silly little girl. You... No, Essie. I must apologize. I did not mean to get so passionate about this. I'm just worried. You don't know how important one's reputation is. And if people start to associate you with that man. I just want what's best for you, Essie.
I know, Dad.
I'm proud of you. I know I already said that, but I really am. Like you can't imagine.
Paula?
Mrs. Naumann just arrived. I showed her to the conference room.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll be right there.
Conference room.
You must be Mrs. Naumann. Thank you for coming. My name is Esther Katz. I am one of the prosecutors in Attorney General Bauer's team.
Good morning, Miss Katz. I am very grateful that you found the time. The last prosecutor who looked into my husband's death didn't even speak to me. He dismissed the case, claiming my husband was rightfully executed as a traitor.
What did the
Did your
prosecutor think
husband
that?
do anything for which he could be accused of treason?
Of course not. The men that took him weren't even looking for him.
I see. I know it's not easy, but please take me through the
The
day
day
your
your
husband was taken.
Okay.
It was in April 45, only days before the Americans came.
Where were you that day?
Home. We lived in a small house. Hans was upstairs when the doorbell rang, before someone hammered against the door.
What time?
Do you remember what time of the day it was?
We just had lunch, so it must have been close to 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Did you and your husband live alone?
No, there was also our son Jan.
Jan.
He insisted on staying with us to help around the house, at least until the end of the war. But he wasn't in. He went out in the morning before we woke up.
Is there anything else you can know? Who was it?
When you opened the door, who was it?
There were 2 men. One of them was pointing a gun at me.
No, let's look at how they
Do you
did it.
remember what they looked like?
Both wore uniforms.
Brown ones.
Brown ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Were they
Were
police?
those men from the police?
No. There weren't police, and there weren't soldiers either. Maybe some kind of party officials or something. One of them was small, thin. He wore glasses, I remember that. The second man was bigger. He was the one pointing the gun at me. He seemed to be in charge.
What made you think that?
He had 2 golden stripes on his
2
uniform.
golden stripes, okay.
And he was bossing the small one around. He yelled and waved his gun around to scare me.
Let me stop you for a second.
So
These
we need to
stripes on
find
his
brown
uniform.
uniform, 2 stripes. Background here. Brown uniform, 2 stripe. Donk donk. Submit. I didn't get.
Could one of these be the badge you saw?
Let me see. Yes. That's the one here. The local group leader. That's the one.
That is very useful. Thank you. Please continue.
They demanded to speak to Mr. Naumann. The gun was still there and... I was just so afraid I couldn't even move. Hans came down and asked them what they wanted. They demanded to know if there was anyone with us. When we said no, the smaller guy looked in the other rooms. He found no one. It was only Hans and I. Then the big one told Hans that he had to come with them for questioning.
Ooh, okay. What did Hans do? Oh.
Did they say why they were questioning him?
No, they did not. They ignored Hans when he asked for their reason. Then everything happened so fast.
Okay, so this
the small one said they'd let him go if our son would turn himself in. Then they just herded him out, like an animal.
Okay, we can... Oh, we can go upstairs.
Did you see something outside?
It has been a while, I'm not exactly sure. There was a car, I think. Yes, one of those big, terrible trucks that they used.
I remember them. They were just everywhere.
I think we're done here. Okay, so yeah.
This was the last time I saw him alive. Me and my son never got the chance to say goodbye.
What was that man's comment about your son?
Jan. He was living with us at that time, but he didn't show up that night or the following. He got into some trouble. Bad trouble.
Do you think the men were looking for your son?
I believe so, yes. At least that's what they said.
Wait a second. I think it was mentioned somewhere.
It's your proof the men were looking for her son. Okay. So this setting was no, that's a police report. Report backward. Yeah. Naumann.
Please take a look.
Oh God. Here it is. He recognized him as Hans Naumann. I can't believe there was proof all along. And the former prosecutor just dismissed it. How could he?
I wish I knew. I am really sorry. Please, continue. What happened upon your son's return?
When Jan finally came back, it was already too late. We asked the authorities about Hans, but they pretended not to know anything. After war, my husband was found dead in a forest nearby. Shot. I believe he died the same day they took him.
I would really like to talk to your son about it.
You and I both, dear. But I am afraid that's not possible. Jan died only a few months after his father. Pneumonia. Hans was innocent. They killed him, and that's murder. No matter what they call it.
I hear you, Mrs. Naumann.
Please, Miss Katz. Will you find the man?
I promise.
I promise. I will find out who is responsible for your husband's death.
Thank you.
We will let you know if we have enough for an indictment. Please, Paula will help you to the door. Goodbye. I should update Mr. Bauer.
Okay, so let's go talk to Mr. Bauer. Oh wait, let's talk to her. Okay. So Dr. Fritz Bauer, Prosecutor General.
Hello, Miss Katz. Any news regarding the Naumann case?
No. Surprising
And
one.
quite surprising ones. As it turns out, he wasn't even supposed to be arrested. The men were looking for his son, Jan Naumann. When they couldn't find Jan, they took Hans instead, the father.
I assume that's what Miss Naumann told you. But are you sure she is telling the truth?
According to the files, the man they were looking for had climbed up a flagpole, torn down a flag, and beaten up a block warden when he was caught in the act. Hans Naumann was 77 years old at the time. Of course, there are older men who are in good shape, but...
Pulling down a flag and beating someone up seems unlikely. I understand.
Yes.
I see, but why did the man take him if they knew he was innocent?
As a hostage.
According to Mrs. Naumann, they took him as a hostage. They were hoping his son, Jan, would surrender once he learned that they had his father.
Highly illegal, even back then. Not uncommon, though. But why did they shoot the old man?
His son didn't turn himself in as they demanded. They could have seen that as enough reason to kill their hostage.
Perhaps, but they hardly gave him enough time. Nonetheless, it is a case for us. For you specifically. I will officially reopen the investigations tomorrow. You need to find out who was at the crime scene when Hans Naumann was shot. We need witnesses.
I'd start with the names mentioned in the files of the first investigation.
Excellent. Let's get this case to court, Miss Cutts. And be mindful of time. We do not have nearly enough of it here. Since you have never led a case before, I want you to be prepared. Mr. Peters has agreed to look over your shoulder and help you out. Present your findings, prove your claims. Please reach out to him.
I'll do what I can. I'll need Paula to get me more information on the suspects. Suppose I should share the good news with Peters. Just great.
Okay.
That poor man. And that poor woman. She lost everyone she loved in a matter of a few months. I really hope we can help her.
I hope so too.
Anything I can do?
I need you to invite a potential witness.
I've got something that might help us with them. I looked into the NSDAP local group from the original investigation. Only a few documents survived the bombing, but I found a group photo and a member list from a few years before the incident. I took the liberty of marking the suspects.
Okay.
One of them, Mr. Schwartz, is dead. Who should I reach out to?
Let's get Herman Kiebitz.
Please invite Mr. Kiebitz.
We'll reach out immediately. Anything else?
Oh, I need some more
I need some
documents.
additional files. The member list is helpful, but I'd still need something more about our suspects. Can you get me their files?
I'll reach out to the Berlin Document Center. But, just so you know, they tend to take their time. Anything else?
Thank you, Paula. That will be all for now.
Here if you need anything.
Okay, so we need case files. So what new documents to get? Okay, so you've got some background files, suspects, D-stream. So yeah, Alfred Feldman is the one that we didn't get to do the interview with in the demo, and that's the three of them. And we have the transcripts from Ludmila's witness testimony.
Quite a collection.
So now we need to go talk to Peters. Meet with Simon Peters. Dink.
I had a talk with Mr. Bauer. He wants us to get along, to work together.
I've heard.
I'm not happy about it either. Peters?
Yes, I've heard you, Cutts. Fine. Here's what we're going to do. Let's just call it a truce. I won't interfere with your casework if you stay away from mine. Agreed?
Agreed.
Good. And as for this whole preparing you for court situation, I swear to God, but there is no point discussing it before you've met the witnesses anyway.
Thank you for thinking I'm a total beginner.
Oh, you're welcome. Someone has to do it, since Mr. Bauer apparently overestimates your abilities. Anyway, get through at least some of your witnesses, and we can get it over with. And while we're at it, don't forget to bring some evidence. I don't want us to improvise the whole thing.
There's nothing left for me to do. I should call it a day.
Okay, so yeah, we filled out everything. So I think that will be it for this episode. Now in the next episode we'll start investigating our suspects. So if you enjoyed this, make sure to like, subscribe, and watch the next one that will be coming out like soon. Boom. Clocking out.